Tharoor. Thanks very much, Mr. Tharoor, for being with us. Firstly, why, Shashi, are different Congress leaders speaking in different voices on Kashmir?
Look, I've been focused on what's going on in Parliament, and I can assure you that within the Congress Parliamentary Party, there's been no ambiguity. The Parliamentary Party is not leaderless. We have a president, namely Sonia Gandhi. He presides over the Parliamentary Party. We discussed our line as soon as this news broke, agreed on what we would say, and as you've noticed, the 4 speakers for the party, 2 in the Rajya Sabha, 2 in the Lok Sabha, were internally consistent with each other and made complementary and mutually supportive points.
But then how is it that
as far as the Congress
Jyotiraditya
Party's
Scindia
coherence in Parliament is concerned,
no, but Shashi,
well, I should stress that,
his tweets.
Parliament whip only applies to MPs, and a decision made by the Parliamentary Party applies only to those who have been elected to be MPs.
No, but Shashi, surely Jyotiraditya Scindia, one of your senior most leaders who's had a huge role in your UP campaign. He says, I support the move on Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and its full integration into the Union of India. Milind Deora says, very unfortunate that Article 370 is being converted into a liberal versus conservative debate. Party should put aside ideological fixations and debate what's best for India's sovereignty, federalism, peace, jobs, etc. He doesn't disagree with what's taken place over there. Jaivir Shergill, my personal point of view, I support abrogation of Article 370. I could go on. Dipinder Hooda says that it's a good thing that's happened. So where does the Congress stand on this?
Well, these are individual views, and I think it's to the credit of the Congress Party that those who are not in Parliament and not subject to the party line because they don't receive the whip from the party, they are entirely free to express their views, and that's a good culture, which I would certainly encourage because, who knows, I have taken advantage of it myself outside Parliament in expressing my views freely on various issues. So they have done so. I think it's very clear that the arguments and the basis on which we criticize the government remain valid. There is a great danger that the manner in which this was done will severely discredit our democracy. You lock up the leaders, you impose a total communications cut-off on Kashmir, no telephones, no television, no internet. And amidst this blackout, you take a decision without consulting any of the people of Kashmir or their representatives in political parties, when this is something that affects fundamentally their political destiny and their constitutional relationship.
So I see where you're coming from entirely, Shashi.
It's a pretty major step.
I understand that.
And to my mind, my colleagues have not addressed that. My colleagues have said
do you believe
370
that
should have gone.
Do you believe?
But
and what about Adhiranjan
Jyotiraditya
Chaudhary's
specifically,
remarks?
I believe, said that it should have been the...
What about Adhiranjan Chaudhary's
Look,
remarks where he asked a question in Parliament?
It was a spontaneous...
No, but Shashi, he asked a question where he said that he asked Amit Shah, is Jammu and Kashmir an internal matter of India? I mean, that challenges everything the Congress has fought for eons.
Look, all I can say is I can't speak for what he had in mind, but as you know, I actually stood up in Parliament when Amit Shah ji was giving his answer. Unfortunately, the mic was not turned on for me, but I spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear that Nehru ji took the Kashmir issue to the UN only as a case of international aggression against India, which it was, and he cannot be faulted for that. The aggression against India by Pakistani forces in 1947-48 is a matter of historical record.
Okay.
And when Nehru went to the UN, it was to protest
No,
and
but
say,
you see,
you guys have been
Shashi, I know what your position is.
World peace, you do that.
I know the position of Mr. P. Chidambaram as well. I know the position of Ghulam Nabi Azad. I'm trying to understand why the Congress isn't speaking in one voice. And let me ask you another question. In the last little while, there are reports which have come in.
Said mutually.
Yes, but not another 6 or 7 of your leaders. All right, maybe 5 of your. That said, what about Jyotiraditya Scindia? Is there a concern in the party that a senior leader like him saying these, taking a position on Kashmir, which is very different from, for example, yours, is indicative of a shift in his own political views? That is he as integrated with the Congress as a lot of people think that he is?
Well, look, he's no longer an MP, so he's not integrated with our discussions in the parliamentary party, which, as you realize, have all happened in 2 days because the decision was unleashed on the nation first thing Monday morning. It's not as if we've had a long time to communicate these decisions to the rest of the nation.
So have you heard the rumors about him, Shashi? Have you heard the rumors which suggest that he perhaps is not as close with the Congress as a lot of people would expect? Or are these rumors? Can you rule out? Can you say that unequivocally?
Look,
that
he's a member of the working committee, and he is part of the small group of active leaders within the party who are trying to find a solution to the leadership conundrum in the party. So I would have no reason to believe that. But it's been a couple of weeks since I last saw him, so I can't say that if his thinking has changed. I know he did point out in his tweet that it would have been better if constitutional processes had been followed.
Yes, sure.
So he has completely distanced himself from our position. And constitutional procedures is precisely what we talked about, that they should have been followed.
All right,
the sleight of hand taken by the government was simply not right. I mean, you can't betray Indian democracy.
So I take the point that you're saying that...
And I don't think there he demurs.
All right. Fair enough, Shashi. I would still take the advantage of having the final word here in saying that people are confused about where the Congress party really stands with all of its leaders as far as this issue is concerned. Thanks very much, Shashi, for joining us this evening.